Cut the music. Cut the damn music. Cut it off because it's time. Let's get a one. All right, Divested Dreamer already put one in there. Hey, B Sunflower. Hey, Lady Posh. KLSB is here. Capricious here. We got Unseelie in the building. Miss Gemini is here. I mean, y'all are in the building. Listen, hey, Colette de Jour. Y'all, let's just keep it real. It's time to keep it real. Ladies, look around you at all of the default picks, including mine. You know, we are Black women that cannot and will not share personal things in our lives, like where we work, the exact city we live in. We can't share our children's pictures, even though they cute as a fucking button. We can't do any of that. Why can't we do any of that? Because the community in which you come from will dox you. They will call your job. They will undo you if you don't toe the line. The line is mule for Black men. Put yourself aside. Put yourself last, exactly. Right? Know that even while you're putting yourself aside, fight for us, Black men in particular. You get nothing in return. You might get a little bit of dick, but if that results in a pregnancy, you will be gifted the fact that you're going to raise that child alone. They also have a color chart where the darker you are, the uglier you are. You've accepted all of this shit in stride. And then you still got your fists in the air, even though you get no reciprocity. Do y'all remember Big Mama? Let me tell you something. Big Mama from back in the day. You remember that old lady, that old black lady in your family? She would always have something on the stove. You always had somewhere to live. She would take up for everybody in the family. She made sure that Thanksgiving, even though it was fake and full of, uh, God, you can't say that up here. People that touch people the wrong way. Her filthy ass sons, some of her trifling ass daughters, who were also mammies. She kept the community, such as it was, such a trash ass place, intact. I don't like to use that word because the black community is what it is. It's a trash heap. It really is. But that old ass woman, you knew that if you fell, you had a misstep, you got into a relationship with a dog ass nigga, you got pregnant, you did lost your job, whatever. You could at least stay with Big Mama for 30 days. She gonna talk shit to you if you're a woman. But if you're a man, you get to stay there until you're 50 fucking years old. You know how that goes. Y'all remember Big Mama? Well, we had a funeral for Big Mama because Big Mama, she ended up, what happened with Big Mama? She got diagnosed with diabetes. She got diagnosed with hypertension, cardiovascular disease. Only the daughters came around to help take care of Big Mama when she started having to scoot around the fucking place. Granddaddy been gone. Also, Granddaddy comes in and out because he has another old ass mammy bitch named Shirley that lives 2 blocks over, who he also has children with. You know, he was just being dusty. Your granddaddy was dusty. Your great granddaddy was dusty. It is what it is. The community is trash. It is. Here's the deal. You know that every single last one of those people in that community are trash, and you see what happened to Big Mama, yet you're still willing to keep up with this bullshit, this nonsense. I guess you're aspiring to be the new Big Mama with one fucking foot, right? Medicare that came from the white man, that $10 cane, and that raggedy ass house that you have where you can hear the rats playing basketball in the walls. The motherfucking lawn looks terrible. That community is all of that. I'm trying to look at this chat and see where the fuck I lied. Big Mama has had a funeral as far as divestment goes. There's no such thing. But in real life, right? Big mamas are becoming less and less and less and less. As a matter of fact, 36-year-old bitches are their community's big mama. Your big mama is at the club now because being in the kitchen cooking collard greens and ham hocks and shit got her tossed to the wind and losing her fucking foot. So grandma's still shaking her ass in the club, i.e. Freaknik getting ready to come the fuck out and everybody's panicking. Listen, there's no trauma bonding to be had. But if you are a trauma bonder, tonight is your night. You don't want to hear about anything that's going to take Black women forward. Toss that community to the side and move forward. No, because guess what? You still love the Black man. As long as that thing is there, that beast is still there, Black women will always fight. Everybody has a different opinion on what a Black man is. Not all. Not my uncle. I saw a good Black man at the store today and he was washing somebody's tires for $3 type bitches. Everybody, if you get 10,000 Black women in a room, you're going to have 10,000 different opinions on what Black men are because Black women love Black men. Problem is, they've never loved you. And as a mammy, you know that. As a fence sitter, you know that. Divestors definitely know that. This is nothing new. I say all that to say this. Recently, there was a Dusty, a classic Dusty, whom Black women used to fawn over. His name was goddamn Harry Belafonte. And we're going to go over that shit. We're getting ready to have some serious smoke tonight. Also, I have an announcement. Anybody that sent anything to my Gmail, if you're on my Patreon, inbox me and tell me you sent it because this is what my Gmail looks like constantly. Constantly. I'm going to try to work on it this afternoon or this evening when we get off it. Pardon me, this evening, late tonight when I leave Discord and try to catch up on some of it. But as soon as I answer one, there's another one coming back in. So I'm not ignoring anybody that sends me a Gmail. I would never do that. I actually answer every single last one of my Gmails. Okay. Even if it's a fuck you fuck yourself with some Astroglide right in your left ear. You'll get a response. But I'm going to work on that. But anyway, let's keep going. We'll get to Harry Belafonte, but let's start here. Okay. This is Emmett Till for the younger babies that are in the room. Some people like to say that the death of this little Dusty, yes, I said it, this little Dusty, the death of him was the kickoff of what we know as the civil rights movement. The story goes, he went down south to spend the summer with his family from down south. He was from Chicago. He went into a store where this woman right here was working. Okay. Her name's Carolyn Bryant. Carolyn said that the little Dusty whistled at her in an inappropriate way. We wasn't there. We don't know. But looking at Dusty's behavior, I would lean and err on the side of caution. You take that how you will, because the little Dusty also had a picture of a white girl from his class, right, in his wallet. So he does have an affinity for them. So I don't know what the hell went on there. I don't give a fuck what went on there. Now, her people, Carolyn's people, went to Lil Dusty's house. Okay, her brothers and her male family members went over to where Emmett Till was living. The part of the story that they don't tell you is the uncle of Emmett Till answered the door. The white dudes on the other side said, bring that little motherfucker out here. Instead of defending his nephew, he went and retrieved Emmett Till and brought him to them, where they proceeded to drive off and unalive him. They had an open casket funeral where he was beat the fuck up. The body looked atrocious. And some say this is what started the civil rights movement. Harry Belafonte was alive at the time. I want you to keep that in your back pocket. The reason all of this is coming up is because both of them are dead. Carolyn Bryant just recently died, and Harry Belafonte recently died. As a matter of fact, he was older than her. He was 96. Carolyn Bryant was 88. Emmett Till got unalive when he was 14. Okay. All of these black women that y'all see today, whose bodies are dropping at 19, 15, 26, 36, didn't get to live as long as this woman right here, who they deemed was a monster, was an enemy to the so-called black community. Carolyn was able to live to a ripe age of 88, and she died in hospice care in her bed. But you, mammies, the ones that's out here fighting for these niggas, are dying in your teens. Some of these kids ain't making it past their childhood. I'm talking about single digits, dying. But none of these black men were able to shorten this woman's life. And if you ask me, I don't think they wanted to. Black women, black men do not want you. You need to move the fuck on. When I come up here and you get irritated about mammy this, mammy that, mammy this, pick me this, all that shit there, because you don't want to hear how bad you sound in this fucked up dichotomy that you have going on with black males. You don't want to hear that shit. You just want to hear how awful they are. And make no mistake about it, they're awful. They're horrible. They're not horrible enough for you to leave them, though, are they? You want to embarrass them into loving you, and that shit does not happen. It will never happen. Okay? All I give a fuck or gave a fuck about was black women getting the fuck away from dusty ass niggas and they bitches that co-sign it. So when I show you a mammy acting a fucking fool, you need to divest away from her as well. There cannot be a sisterhood with mammies. Okay? And some of you undercover mammy / fence sitters, you think you're trying to blur the lines. There has to be a hard line, a very dark line in the sand between you and them. Mammies are getting their issue right now, and you don't want to hear that shit. You want to hear that black men just abandoned you. They don't want you, which all of that is true. They beat on you. They unalive you. They do all that shit. All of that is true. When I go, but, comma, Stop getting in relationships with these motherfuckers. You lose your mind. You don't care about black women. Well, yes, the fuck I do, whore. I'm only telling you this because I do care about you. There is no way to do this and be with black males. There's no way to do it. I don't care how you twist it and fold it. I don't care what unicorn you thought you found. I don't care how close you and your brother are. I don't care if your daddy walked you up to prom. Bitch, black men don't like you. You are being unalived at very young ages while this motherfucking woman here was able to turn into this. This. A lot of you black women won't never, ever live long enough to turn into this shit right here at the hands of black men. You don't want to hear about the part you're playing in it. You have to go. You have to divest. You have to put yourself first. A lot of these women that we talk about up here that have been unalived, they don't know or will never know what it's like to be this goddamn elderly. They won't see it. But the woman that kicked off, quote unquote, the civil rights movement by having a 14-year-old black boy unalive, she made it there. Why? Because her men protected her. You wasn't finna do shit. The only people that black men can be is you. And they know that shit. That's why you're getting fucked the fuck up every 5 goddamn minutes. Huh? Aaliyah, do you got anything on this? Because this shit it's annoying.
Not on this for real, but I can address something because I've been hearing chatter that's kind of similar to what you were just saying when they try to pretend like we have to make up shit when we say that black men don't like black women for real and they really can't stand you. And more than anything, they hate their mothers, just so we're clear on that. But let me address something real quick because we tend to talk about issues before they go viral, not wait until after and then hop on a story and pretend to be the spokesperson for a particular topic. Whereas our content from this channel goes back to 2020 and certain topics were covered multiple times here. So certain individuals don't need to pretend like they were not here somehow to know that. But I find it that it's always the bitches with the least amount of integrity always claiming to have the most, and their flunkies eat it up when they don't practice what they preach. And how you got almost 1 million followers and got to steal content from smaller content creators and then intentionally lie and say no one else is talking about said topic and then claim to have integrity at the same time? You bitches should be ashamed of yourselves, but you're not. By the way, have y'all apologized to Meg the Stallion yet? Of
Oh,
course not. Of course not. And you were one of the main bitches that was as wrong as wearing two ugly ass left pairs of shoes with a corduroy jumpsuit. But you know what I say? What I always say. If you got a problem, that's what's up. And we'll be back next Tuesday, not giving a fuck. And y'all have heard me say that consistently for years now. So nothing has changed except for maybe all these plastic ass wigs with baby hairs these grown ass women keep trying to make happen and failing miserably. Now, if you want to keep sub shading this channel, we can finally get it cracking. Because I've been waiting for you to give me a reason to tag your ass up. And tag your ass up, I will. Because there's been a lot that you clearly wanted to forget about all these years. And I am the
for
absolute
those of
best.
y'all that are confused in the chat, she's talking
Yeah,
about some tea that's
yeah,
lovely. She's talking
yeah.
about a little bit of tea sipping that's lovely. That's all I can say out there.
And I am the absolute best at reminding motherfuckers who they are when they forget. And I keep telling you bitches, anytime your mammy ass wanna buck, we will buck back round this bitch. I promise you. See, that's the thing. Don't get it started because I can't stand when a bitch wanna go to their channel and start sub shading a bitch. Bitch, you been stealing from this panel how long? Do you really want to go there? And then want to try to take full credit for some shit you know you wouldn't even talk about to the story with viral? Are you fucking kidding me? Bitch, you ain't slick. She just like a lot of these other bitches around here trying to pretend like she came up with something. But have you apologized to Meg the Stallion yet? Practice what you preach on that, bitch.
I mean, dead ass wrong. Showing fucking foot that was shot and trying to just undo the damn girl. To be honest with you, She does not like black women, especially American black women. But that's not new. That's not new at all. Um, a couple of my panelists up here really aren't familiar with Harry Belafonte and shit. Y'all getting ready to get, since we trauma bonding tonight, and all you give a fuck about is that black men don't want you, which is so weird to me. It's weird to me. Ebony, I know you know about this because we came up as little girls on bullshit like this.
Oh, yeah, the bullshit was very, very deep. Very, very deep, and it was handed down in the churches, handed down in the neighborhoods, handed down in families for eons and forever.
Pink
Ladies,
Fly, I see you back there, Pink Fly, but cut your camera off before I get you up here, okay? Go ahead.
they never wanted you. They
Ever.
never wanted me, and I didn't give a crap because I saw what my cousin and them, and my aunts and them, and my sisters and them. I saw them getting the crap beat out of them. I'm like, why would I even want that anyway? So
Y'all,
that's what I'm saying. You know, this is not like something we're inventing. Where is the lie? There is no lie for you to look up because it's true. And all you have to do is look all around you and see it. You get upset because people tell you the truth. Now, I find that very interesting.
y'all, you got to get over it. You have to get over it. I'm serious. They're not going to be embarrassed into wanting you. I drag them all the time because they're always in the news. But this is not, oh, look, I just found out that black men are dusty. They've always been dusty since hieroglyphics round this bitch. They've been dusty. They've never wanted you. This woman was able to live to a ripe old age, even though she had a hand in taking out what their precious commodity, and that's called black little boys, right? They fucked him the fuck up, and he was handed over by another Dusty, which happened to be his uncle. So this shit that y'all seeing on TikTok, Instagram, and all these different places today, this ain't new. This is not new. They're never going to want you. And those of y'all that are saying that the younger generation is not mammying, you got them fucked up. You really do. Because they're mammying all over the place. Everybody's got their own version of mammying. Every time you turn around, we got shit like this.
I'm past. I don't like dark skins like that. She dark. Yeah.
Darling, they don't want you. Or you lining up, letting them judge you like this.
Priority status.
I'm gonna leave you alone.
What that
I smash you because you thick. Okay. Period. You black and
I'm finding
you look like you cool people. I smash you. You fine. I smash you. You fine.
Why in the hell would they be letting a motherfucker like that
Exactly.
who look like that tell
You
them?
standing in line, standing right there trying to see whether this dusty son of a bitch who ain't got shit, ain't built shit, his people ain't shit, and they violent, to see whether he'll smash you. Where is your self-esteem at? Okay, how is this for trauma bonding for you? Because this all you really care about. Because when I tell you two little bitches walking through a goddamn neighborhood and to answer a question from the homeowners association or the crime watch, y'all get out of here. Don't talk about them. Don't. There could not be any of this shit going on if you didn't participate with black males. It wouldn't happen. This would not be a thing. But you're lining up tens of dozens at a time trying to see whether this fucking booty hole face nigga want to fuck you. Really? Let me put my banner up and see what's going on in the back, because we trauma bonding tonight. Let me scroll up a little bit. I know that's a sight to behold up there on that screen, but yeah. Pink Fly, are you dusty? Ooh.
No, I'm not. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. What do you have on the subject matter, ma'am?
Regarding the video that you showed,
Which one?
The one where the black man was going around smashing slasher pass. And I see that all the time. Black men always post these videos saying they don't like black women, dark skinned women, or just black women, period. And
could there be a video like that if black women didn't line up? Could his little production right there on his smash or pass video, if those girls didn't participate and stand there waiting patiently to see whether they were going to be smashed or not, could he have made that video?
No. No.
Absolutely.
Yes, and I've even African women, which they say are better because they're more traditional. I've seen men, even American men, can always say that they are ugly. This man was talking about how Nigerian women are ugly and that they're all masculine, and they're like, what? We're better than American women, so why are you calling us ugly? And
Well, that whole
yeah,
community is trash, including Nigerian folks, including Jamaican folks, including European blacks, include all of them are dusty. It just
yeah,
is what it is. But when you say that shit and then you say, "Hey, black women, this is what you got to do to get the fuck out." No, because what they really want is to stay, but correct black men's behavior, and that
yes.
is a Cinderella tale that will never ever happen. It'll never
Yeah.
happen. Point blank. The fuck. Period. Kyra, what you got, boom?
Good evening, DZ. Good evening, ladies.
Hey.
Well, I guess I have several things. One, on the video, isn't it interesting that this crispy black cicada is telling black women that they're too dark? Like, the fuck? Like, no one can see you if the lights are turned off, but okay, she's too dark.
Well,
Yeah.
with them, black women always say, "I like my men dark." No reciprocity whatsoever. So you see them over there saying, "The darker the berry, the uglier the bitch," and that is a direct quote, by the way. You still standing in line. You gonna smash me? You getting
Okay.
BBLs? You wearing crazy? Go ahead. I
I
can't.
I got two things on Emmett Till. One, ladies, look up the the Life magazine interview that magazine did with the white males who gave him the rope treatment. It's really interesting. Did you know that there was a week between the whistling incident and when he was rounded up? So his family actually had time to get him out of town
Yes.
and prevent the whole thing from happening, but they chose not to. Not only did they not get him out of town, they handed him over. And this is particularly for the Fight the Power, Black Panther mammies. Look, y'all keep wanting to fight the power, but guess what? Every time there's a so-called enemy, the black male cowers. Carolyn Bryant lived to 88. George Zimmerman is still walking around fancy free and happy as a daisy. It's over because the black male is a coward and he only has beef for you.
Can I
And
tell
we
y'all
on
why Emmett Till was at that store? Do any of y'all? I'm looking at the chat. Do any of y'all know why he was at that store with this white lady, the part owner of that store? Let me see, because it's a little delay. Kyra 100 week, Soul Girl with the Flames. Okay, he was going to that store to buy a card for a white girl that he had a crush on in Chicago. Oh, did I hurt the who they really choose crowd? Y'all, stop fighting for these people. They don't want you. He actually did not want to even go down there to see his cousins because he wanted to keep, crushing or whatever. My thing is, why do you give a fuck who they want? You should be divested and moving the fuck on. But the moment we have a live where we're not talking about them wanting to fuck you and who they think is pretty, you lose your shit. You lose your shit. They don't want you. There's no secret. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. I just want to know one thing. What would be the reaction if I got on TikTok, okay, and I had all kinds of men and lined them up on the wall, right? And I went and picked out the men that I like, and we all know what the men I like look like, right? And
Denzel?
what would the black guys do? They get mad, they'd walk off, they would yell at me, every kind of word in the world, but they have the right. Okay, you're giving them the right to do that to you.
Ebony, I would go so far as to say they're not going to line up to see whether you want them or not. They'll come get you when they're ready to pick you.
And see, we're
Too
talking
late,
about
bitches. I don't
motherfuckers
want them.
who I mean, they walk around with plaques and shit on their head like they're 8-year-old girls and shit. These are some of the most
Guilty.
unattractive men ever sitting up trying to tell you who he would smash and pass. And my thing is, the preferences are just as dumb because they standing there cheesing while he going down the line and they ain't even thinking about what's it really mean to be actually considered fuckable to somebody who looks like this. As somebody who is this disrespectful to other women and gonna do this right in front of us. But they let you know they don't have any sense either.
But let's keep it all the way real though. If black women were to say, well, I like black males, but he gotta be light skinned though, they would call you all types of colorist and self-hating. But black women tolerate that mess from black males.
They tolerate everything up to and including homicide from black males. Y'all take a look at the screen. This is Harry Belafonte. We went over that whole goddamn situation with Carolyn Bryant and the situation with Emmett Till. We did that. Harry Belafonte was a grown-ass motherfucking man while this was going on. Like I said, he was older than Carolyn Bryant, so he knew about all the situations that was going on with race relations and all that shit, but he didn't give a fuck. Harry Belafonte, he was born in the 20s, okay? And he's fully aware of what the fuck is going on with everything and everybody having to do with civil rights and so on and so forth, which happens to be the black males divestment movement, by the way, but that's a whole nother conversation. Okay, here's the deal. For the majority of Harry Belafonte's adult life, he was a married man. Let's keep going. So how on earth did he even have time to destroy this woman's self-esteem? This is not even one of his wives. This is Eartha Kitt. If you don't know who Eartha Kitt is, she's a legend. She was one of the sexy women from back in the day, okay, who had her self-esteem tore the fuck up by motherfuckers like Harry Belafonte, okay? So a direct quote from Harry Belafonte as he was climbing up out of her bed. Let's do this first. She was talking about Sammy Davis Jr., another motherfucker that literally cried at his wedding to a black woman because he was in love with a white woman. Sidney Poitier, he got all his money from black women as well, and he turned around and married a white woman, but that's not new. So what did Harry Belafonte say to her as he was climbing out of her bed? I don't want you to take this seriously. No black woman can do anything for me. This was when shit was black and fucking white. So none of this shit is new. What do you think you gonna do with your Instagram page to change black men? I'm trying to figure out what the fuck you think you fixing to do with your black men need to get it together. Black men, them white women, they'll get you strung up. Black men, come home, we need you. But the kids need they don't give a fuck what you talking about. You weren't even itching your dusty ass daddy's pants while they was hating on black women. They hate black women. Kyra, I know you got something to say about that last line of that fucking sentence.
Well, let's take this all the way there. First of all, Eartha Kitt was actually biracial, so she was a preference, and she wasn't good enough for a black male. So you black women who still wish to look at a color chart and try to say, well, I'm preferred more to a black male, is completely worthless. And two, this dude, did you know that he actually was active in civil rights? He actually would meet with Martin Luther King and everything, and he was still talking this shit. So it's like what DZ said and what the other ladies on this panel have said. The civil rights movement that we like to, look back on with pride, it was really the black male's divestment movement. It was his divestment movement from black marriage, black family, black community, black business ownership.
Yes, Eartha Kitt was biracial. I was just replying back to the comment. What Kyra said is correct. Her dad was white, and she's actually a product of rape, which is where a lot of her issues. I'm sorry, but yeah, that's where a lot of her issues came from. I keep forgetting shit. My bad, but yeah, and see, we're talking about old black Hollywood royalty here, and Harry Belafonte is in the same vein as, like you were saying, Sammy Davis Jr., Sidney Poitier. Let's not leave out Quincy Jones, Red Fox, Richard Pryor, James Earl Jones. I mean, the list just goes on. And black women are going to learn that what we're experiencing now is not a new phenomenon by any stretch of the imagination. And as badly as these bitches want to keep putting out there that black men love black women and what we're saying carries no weight, then why has this humiliation and degradation of black women spanned over the course of generations? And see, and this is why we say hashtag all, because Belafonte is another one of those black folks that people refuse to tell the truth about. They act like he was one of the unicorns, but he actually cheated on his second wife with Joan Collins, a whole white woman, while they were shooting an Island in the Sun. And that's not what I think. What I think, Joan Collins wrote about that in her memoirs. And like we were just talking about, he treated Eartha Kitt like shit. And she was considered the preference back then, and she wasn't even a full black woman. But he told her she couldn't do anything for him after he fucked her though. But they love y'all though. And see, my thing is, remember that one drop rule. So I guess he applied that to her, correct? But this is the bullshit y'all claim was perpetrated by white supremacy. And Eartha Kitt was considered the preference, the personification of a feminine sex kitten, and everything they claim that you have to be to get their attention now. So if there was so much love there wouldn't be an example of bullshit like this. And Belafonte is Jamaican, so he's a Caribbean king. And see, they don't have any respect for black women either, and they never have.
Check it out,
Well,
y'all. Right here, because someone asked who is this. Well, this is Harry Belafonte's first wife. She's also biracial. Okay, listen, ladies. This was we talking the 40s here. You were never wanted by these motherfucking men. So to sit here and keep harping on what they choose, who they choose, the preferences is catching it, and all this shit here, it's of no consequence, to be honest with you, because you were never in the game any goddamn way. And all these shaming tactics is not going to work with them. They know good and damn well that when they're ready to come back and pick you, you'll be there. This woman on the screen, her name is Marguerite. Okay. They were married for 9 years. Okay, they separated in 1957. He got married again in 1957, inching a little bit more close to what he actually wanted. This is another biracial woman. That was his wife for 47 years. She didn't die about that marriage, right? Let me tell you something. A nigga will sit with you as long as you're benefiting them. The moment that you no longer benefit them, they're going to keep going. His wife right here, her name was, what was her name? Julie Robinson. That was her name. She was a dancer, an actor, a choreographer. She was all this shit in Hollywood. And she kind of helped his career. 47 fucking years. Do you understand me? The black male is very patient. When he wants some shit, he gonna get some shit. So she stopped benefiting him because his career took the fuck off. Now, in 2008, he got what he wanted the whole goddamn time. This was his wife at the time of his death. Her name is Pamela Frank. Ladies, I'm telling you, they don't want you. You can take all these courses, be feminine, helpful, breathe life into them, make sure you do their resumes, wash their clothes, suck their dick to the base, and dance a jig. And guess what? You're not going to be this goddamn white woman on the right. As gorgeous as you are, because you are gorgeous, black women, you are. Black men are not checking for you. Snapple, you got anything?
Hey, happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
You know, I'm not too familiar with this thing on the screen, but I had some comments on the Emmett Till situation because, you know, they've been beating us in the head with Emmett Till information since elementary school. I just wanted to point out how you highlighted, and you had previously highlighted how his uncles had just given him over. But I also wanted to say, you know, for the community, for Blackistan, I just feel like they're weird for making Caroline, is that her name, the enemy. Like, okay, if he whistled at her and she told her peoples, she is not the one that showed up to the door and did what needed, you know, what got done. So I just feel like that's just like misguided anger. And I know, like, you know, the mammies and the secret mammies amongst us will be upset about this, but I will say rest in peace to her. And I think she deserved to live out her life. Like, just because some unruly ass rock-headed kid whistled and you went and gossiped about it and then he got, handled, that ain't got shit to do with her. So I'm glad she got to live her life out. And rest in peace
It's
to
two
her.
things.
Shout out to
It's
Jerry
two
Springer.
things. Snapples. It's two things. Number one, they were upset that at the thought that somebody black would, entertain a white woman. That's number one. And number two, they don't know what protection looks like. They have no idea. You don't have a bunch of black men rounding up somebody that touched a little black girl. And they know who the person is. Sometimes they're in the same family with these people. So when they see protection, they don't know what it is. Just like it was with the homeowners association situation. When they see other men protecting their women, they get in their feelings because they don't know what that feels like to have somebody to go to the ends of the earth for them. That's really all it is.
And Blackistan is fake and phony because if they really wanted to have some outrage and have an enemy, it should have been for that uncle or whoever the fuck that was that just handed the boy over. That's where the energy should have been directed to. But it's always got to be the white man and shit. So that's all. I don't know about this Harriet Harry person.
When it comes to black women, they're so predictable because they use stories like this to fall back on because they think it deters black women from being interested in white women. See, black men, this is what they have had done to y'all. See how they lie on y'all. See how they do this. See how they do that. And they think that, you cannot trust these. You see, it's the same thing that's going on with Jonathan Majors right now. And they think they're constantly bringing up this story because they've been writing this Emmett Till story forever, along with Rosewood, Black Wall Street, and all the rest of them. See, it's funny how they have vilified the white man in every single story that they tell. But when it comes to them, they only want to use them as cautionary tales against marrying and dating out. The thing is, none of it has worked. They don't give a fuck when y'all constantly bring up the lies or supposed lies that has been told on them throughout generations. Nobody cares about that but you. So you would think by now they would see how stupid they look to keep rehashing history when these men don't give a fuck about none of that. And see, here's the thing. Go ahead.
Look, y'all. Somebody trying to speak before I be petty?
I was just gonna say, and if a black male is pretending to care about, history and the rope treatment and all that shit, understand this: he's only doing that to get your money or to get your ass. That's it. He doesn't really care. That's all.
Ladies, apparently, this is y'all on that reciprocity and not expecting it type shit. Apparently, Jamie Foxx has had a stroke. I don't give a fuck. I hope the stroke go ahead and take him to the other side, whatever lies after this life, and he just carry the fuck on. Jamie Foxx can't stand you, and you got black women in these comment sections. Get well. Oh, we're sending you good vibes, Kang. Oh, we hope you get better, Kang. All the shit here, you looking like a sloppy, dumbass motherfucking bitch in these comment sections when he can't stand you. I only put both of these pictures up because they're always talking shit about your hair and wearing fake hair. There's nowhere on earth, there's not a magician that exists that can put a hairline on there without some additives. Okay, they're always talking shit about your hair, but you over here salivating. You should be in them comment sections asking him, when did you get your hair transplant? When you need to add some hair, this is what happens with you.
Is a girl with a cheap ass wig.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh my
Yeah, and I couldn't help but notice that the mammy, she thought that was motherfucking hilarious. That's why I roast these bitches as well. Y'all, there are women out here that have alopecia. There's women out here who just got bad genes. They can't grow long hair, but they want to also be aesthetically beautiful, like this motherfucker on the screen tried to do. But you are turned into a goddamn joke. You are twerking your ass off on niggas that can't stand your ass at all, and he can't think of doing nothing else but snatching your fucking wig and running around. And the male identified bitches in the goddamn audience thought that was funny as fuck. But here you go. Get well soon. Go ahead, Aaliyah.
Now, see, what was irritating to me about that is the thing is, if you don't want to celebrate because people feel like that's in poor taste, nobody say, how about you say nothing? I mean, why haven't Black women learned to master the concept of shutting the hell up? Not everything requires a response from you, even if it's just to chime in and say, "We don't care." Okay, well, yeah, you cared because you talked about it. So ignore some shit sometime is all I'm saying. And my thing with him is they've all done it. He built an entire career making a mockery out of Black women. That's
We gonna get
literally
there.
what.
We gonna get there, Aaliyah. Now
Okay,
I'm going somewhere with it.
go
Look,
ahead. I'm
here's
sorry.
the deal. This right here, this is the women that he chose, right? One's his daughter, and the other one is over here looking like a Republican pundit from off of Fox News that has a wife, right? This motherfucking woman looks like she could be George Soros or some goddamn body. But this is who they're choosing, since that's what y'all want to trauma bond about. Who they really choose. This is who they're choosing. Okay, this is a multimillionaire. And this is his but don't forget about the 2 coochie minimum. Don't forget about it. Here we go again. That's his other baby mama. And you down there just acting a damn fool. Ma'am, they don't like Black women. When they're talking about you, because you see how told the fuck up these bitches look. Let's just keep it real. They look terrible. When you look on the left, if that's a millionaire's, counterpart or whatever, I would think of somebody that was about 94 years old. But she got the one that you're salivating about, and he's over here picturing you and putting a rendition of you like this. Yes, ma'am. That's Jamie Foxx doing his rendition of a Black woman. Pull the fuck up.
And
I don't
don't leave
understand. Ray Charles was blind and he didn't even want you. That's the sad part. I mean, there was somebody who scrapped him up who was Black, but he was blind and he didn't even want Black women.
Y'all, do y'all see how stupid y'all look? Seriously. When he got a chance to put out an image of a Black woman and what he thought a Black woman was, this is what he did. Meanwhile, he got baby mamas that look like white male Republican zaddies. What?
Don't forget about his ex, Katie Holmes from Dawson's Creek. Everybody talked shit about Joshua Jackson marrying Jodie Turner Smith, but said nothing about Katie Holmes fucking around with Jamie Foxx.
So him having a stroke, what do I give a fuck about? He's out here telling everybody that that's me, that that's you. You're cross-eyed, you got big ass lips, big ass mouth, blonde wig, all this shit here. That's what he said that you are, right? But you want to tell them that they mama Black. They don't give a fuck about their mama being Black. Are you out of your mind? Snapper, you got anything on this bullshit?
Yeah, I actually had heard on the streets that it was an aneurysm, but either way, I thought it was funny. I thought it was even more funny that whatever film he was in the process of doing, they like continued it without him. So, that was funny to me. I mean, this Wanda, I think that's what she's called, this character.
Yes.
That was like one of the first things I thought of when I heard that he may have kicked the bucket. And I had hoped that you had planned on doing a live to roast his ass. So that was funny to me.
Because I damn sure will roast his motherfucking
sometimes
ass.
they be dead and they be lying, pretending that they still kicking for a little bit. So, he might be.
I mean, here's the thing. They've all done it. Every single one of them have built careers off Black women backs, mocking you. This is how they see you. Every single one of them, from Eddie Murphy to Tyler Perry to Martin Lawrence to Ricky Smiley. Every single fucking one of them has made a mockery out of dressing up like you. And you support every single one of them, and you laughed and you keyed and you thought it was so funny and all this shit. And y'all love these niggas dirty draws, and this is exactly what they think about Black women. And they go off and get somebody that don't look nothing like you. Yeah.
Trauma bonding. Trauma bonders, are y'all having fun yet? Because you think this is about correcting Black male behavior. It cannot be done. I'm not interested. All I want to do is get your ass away from them and expose the rest of them. That's it. I'm sorry that you still want to fuck on them. That's a mental problem that you have. But this is what they think about you. Let's carry on. And Mimi, I see you in the back, dear. I'm not ignoring you. I'm not.
But DC,
I'm
there's
Go
what
ahead.
this was from in Living Color, as everybody can remember. This show shot J Lo up. Okay,
Yes,
Yep,
it shot
yes.
yep.
all the black men up, but their own fucking sister had a hard time getting anywhere. They wouldn't even give enough breaks for their own damn sister Kim, who's
Please
quite
Yep.
do
talented.
that. Ebony, thank you for bringing that up. The sister had to go ahead and leave, and she ended up marrying a white man and got the fuck on with her life. That's what I wish you ladies would do and stop begging these people, even her family members. I'm so glad you brought that up, Ebony. Yeah, the reason you even know who J Lo is because of folks like Jamie Foxx and the Wayans brothers. I almost called them the Ivory brothers.
The Isley
And
brothers, DZ.
and
But
none of those
that's
Wayans brothers mess with black women. I'm sorry, Kyle, go ahead.
Oh, since we're talking about in living color history, you know who else we know because of the Wayans brothers? They put on Jim Carrey.
Oh
We
yeah.
would not know who Jim Carrey is if it wasn't for the Wayans brothers. So let's see. The Wayans brothers could put up and highlight a Latina woman and a whole white man, but their own black sister was given their ass to kiss.
But that's what I was saying. None of them mess with black women like that. When you look at some of the movies they made, they had a whole movie where they was mocking dancers. It was a horrible movie, but they was mocking dance movies. And the next generation produced that. I think it was Damon's Sons or whatever. They had a whole dark skinned girl in there. They was making fun of calling her Uglisha. That was what her name was. They have
Hmm.
always done these movies and shit where they try to embarrass black women. There's no way you saw Coming to America and then see how fucked up that was. There's no way you didn't see Norbit and look at Rasputia and see how fucked up that was. And then there's no way you looked at Coming to America too and saw how they tried to play Leslie Jones and dog her. I mean, that's why I say people can't be this fucking dumb, man. You see this shit. You just want to keep lying to yourself.
Oh,
Y'all,
DZ, real quick. Oh, sorry.
no, go ahead, baby.
I just wanted to point out it's a little random, but you know how you played that clip in the last live of old boy on the subway violating those teen girls. I just wanted to point out to everybody it has still not gone viral. I have still not seen it on any blogs, anything. So just reminding the community in Blackistan that that was fake outrage about the other girls in the gated community because this thing that was verbally assaulting and threatening those black girls, it's still no noise being made about it. So that's all.
Yeah, that's true because they don't give a fuck. It is fake outrage. They didn't give a fuck about it. They did. They just trying to get a little bit of that Ben Crump mushmouth money because that's all that is. Yeah, I'm looking at the comments. Right, Rosie Perez is another one who they boosted the fuck up. Right, Mr. Pro Black. What's that little short dude that did that movie? I can't think of his name. I want to call him Spud Webb so bad, but he a movie maker looking like somebody's PTA grandmother.
Spike Lee.
Yes, there you go. They boost up everybody but you, but here you come with your rusty, crusty ass fish with them fist with them coffin nails, talking about fighting the damn power. You can't even make a black power fist with them long ass Dookie Field nails that y'all got. Any motherfucking way. Yeah. This person here that's on the screen, his name is Shy Glizzy. I'm a old bitch, so I was not aware of him. The reason that he's up here is because he finally went platinum off of making a song called White Girl. I love white girl. And before you hip hop heads come in here, oh, that's just a metaphor for drugs, quote unquote. The first thing out of his mouth on that song is, I'm in love with a white girl. Okay? And let's go ahead and put a shot of his video up here from Harry Belafonte all the way to Shy Glizzy a couple of months ago. They not checking for you. They're not. So if you want to go ahead and keep trauma bonding over them not wanting you, you go right the fuck ahead. But when there's news that you need to hear, i.e., some shit coming down the pike that you need to hear about, like Florida being the first state introducing the death penalty for child M wording, yeah, they're voting on that this week. Hopefully that passed. Yes, in Florida, if this does pass, you could be put to death for touching children. So shout out to DeSantis for what he's doing. So when I want to talk about that and not talk about these niggas wanting white bitches, you can excuse your motherfucking self. You already know they don't want you. My question is, why the fuck do you want them?
And see, here's the thing. If what we're saying carries no weight in the real world, like people love saying, because this is just online, it's just a gender war that does not exist outside of social media. And if what we're saying carries no weight and we're just trying to make money where there is no money to be made, because the real money is in actually pandering to Black men and riding the fence and telling them what they want to hear and feeding into their egos. Name one thing that we've said that hasn't been true, and then let me know when exactly it was proven to be false. Because if what we're saying is false, would Black femicide even be a thing? And would you even need legislation for your protection so that you don't become an endangered species around this bitch? Since we were talking about laws in Florida and shit, we have laws that we're trying to get passed right now for our fucking protection, because that window just keeps getting smaller and smaller of the rates in which you are being off. Would you have some of the highest domestic partner and intimate partner violence rates in this country? And with so many of you all still being in poverty? And would you still be relying on the kindness of other groups? And would you reign in pretty much every negative statistic across the board, from HIV, STD, to obesity, to maternal mortality, to diabetes, to cardiovascular disease? I mean, the list just goes on and on and on. But what we're saying is false. Right? Okay.
Let me go ahead and trigger you a little bit, right? Because they ain't checking for you. Even they prefer white women when they're with their Black woman.
Hey, Daddy.
Completely mesmerized. Huh? That's their choice, okay? And she got completely upset, threatening to walk down the goddamn escalator. He don't give a fuck. He wasn't even looking at her. He was looking up at that white woman. So where's the question? I'm trying to figure out where the question is. I need to play that back.
Hey, Daddy.
That's what y'all want. It's don't you know that there's no fixing them? Okay? I hope our trauma bonding is going well. Jesus Christ. Let me put my banner back up here so I can see what the fuck Mimi got, cuz this is embarrassing, honestly. Hold on, y'all. Let's look at the kids tear up the goddamn city. Mimi, is this your real account or are you dusty as fuck?
Hey, DZ. Yes, it's me. Hey, ladies. Hey, chat out there. Growing up, just hearing the Till story, I felt bad. Saw the documentary, felt bad. But quiet was kept that Till's dad was putting hands and feet on his mama.
Till's dad got put to death because he R-worded 2 women while he was in the military. They don't want to talk about the real Till story. Nobody wants to talk about that shit.
Yes, and then, for her to just be advocating for herself, like, she should have been advocating for every woman that was in her facility, or even nationwide, of these DV issues that we've been having from day one. And still, like you said, the window is getting shorter and shorter. And hey, I'm all for signing petitions, rallying up supporters when it comes to Black women DV issues, even
I'm not. I'm over that shit, because the thing is, these Black women, they just want Black men. They don't give a damn. I saw a clip today. Somebody sent to me today. They were interviewing young girls. They looked like they were in high school. The question was, do you want a fat boyfriend or would you take an abusive boyfriend? 100% of them girls said abusive. Did
Yeah,
you
I
hear what
saw
I just
that
said?
too. Yeah,
No, 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 no.
yeah,
That
they
I
definitely
saw it.
made that little survey. And why would the fuck would they? Why would you sign
oh God.
on now? Like every, don't even sign up. Well, I listen when it
I
comes to
know it
terms.
leaves you stuttering, doesn't it? It's baffling how the fuck the black woman minds work. You said instead of a fat boy, you'd rather have an abusive boy. I can't do anything with that. Don't get abused, girl. Go
No,
ahead.
it's
No,
not.
you
They
don't give a fuck
shallow.
about Florida goddamn laws. You don't care about shit that's coming down the pike. You don't care about who's getting elected. This city doesn't have any clean water and it's mostly black because your men don't know how to build irrigation system and purification system. You don't want to hear that. You want to find out why the fuck they won't fuck you. Huh, I can't.
No, they're childish. How many times I gotta say it? A lot of black women are very childish, immature, just shallow, selfish. It's a lot of adjectives that I can think of to describe a lot of like just everything. The mentality is just so high school. That's the reason why we're running around here trying to tell men that they don't even have to provide for women. This is just how crazy we are.
That's
You know,
I'm
right.
it's like
sorry,
every.
but
Mhm.
Aaliyah, golly, you're killing me. All of you're killing me here because I mean, who would want abuse? This is complete brainwashing. It's like they're walking around in a fucking coma.
But
Mm-hmm.
Ebony, you got to remember though, the what grandmothers, great grandmothers were the same women who got hosed down and bitten by dogs. Also, their kings could get their dick sucked by a Becky. So
Yeah,
And I never
absolutely.
understood why they had those young girls and women out there marching with them. I
But
never got that.
and think about how many of them have co-signed violence against women, period. Not we went through this with the whole Megan Thee Stallion situation, but she hasn't been the only one. They will advocate for these violent ass men in a minute. It doesn't matter what he did. If he's a celebrity or got some type of status or some money, they don't give a shit what he did. They're gonna find a way to justify it. Look at how many black women were still capable. Jonathan Majors being the most recent. And it's like, goddamn, could y'all get off his dick long enough to see what's being said about this man? But see, they don't give a damn. They don't give a damn what they do.
but Aaliyah, I'm sorry.
Let's look at some black love, y'all.
From the
I'm
pen
gonna
of a
gag.
loose D male. I want to honor my beautiful wife, Melissa, for allowing me the time to change into the man I am today. You stayed through the cheating, lying, and plain out disrespect. I can't give you back the years, but I can make up for it the rest of our years. I love you. If this is love, I want no parts of it. I thought being a ride or die chick left out a long time ago. But clearly, we are still allowing ourselves to be doormats. We're allowing men to just do whatever and still have a place to land after their community penis days are over. Couldn't be me. I wish women love themselves the way males love everybody else because they surely don't love. This is not love. This is disrespect all around. He looks refreshed. She looks drugged through the dirt.
This is y'all's this is what y'all aspiring to. And notice the salt and pepper beard. Okay. He been fucking left, right, and center all his goddamn life. Now he's finally ready to settle down. Then when he settles down, he's cheating on you, lying to you, and all that shit. They have a two pussy minimum, okay? And that's being very conservative when it comes to the dusty. Because usually they're fucking around with four, but let's just keep it at two pussy minimum, okay? And these days, it's two pussies and a pussy. How about that part? Y'all are out of your
Yeah,
mind.
DZ, it's easy to get women who are desperate.
The thing is, though, you got doctors, lawyers, judges, you got people with real life fucking careers that also pick these men. Okay. They're desperate. I'll give it to you. They're very desperate to have a black man in a pool of, the unicorns don't exist. Y'all ever seen a bunch of homeless people rummaging through a dumpster looking for something to eat? I've seen it before. Okay. That's what you look like. You and your $200,000 worth of student loans, your Juris Doctorate has been completed. and you come back to this disgusting community looking in the trash for the same man that the rest of these hood rats and mammies are looking for. It's appalling. So you thought that if you went and bettered yourself and brought yourself back, that you'd be a more viable candidate to get one of these dusty sons of bitches. That just tells me that you don't have any self-esteem. And I don't believe that you should be judging in anybody's courtroom. If you in your personal life chose a dusty, you don't need to be litigating anything or judging anything that I have going on at the courthouse. If I'm trying to, establish my landline and that type of shit, I don't need you judging that, because you picked a dusty after going through all that schooling and knowing the crime stats. Remember, all judges went to law school, so they know the crime stats and still came the fuck back. Looking, how many mammy judges have I put up here just this past year, y'all? Well,
because the first thing they do after graduation and when they get themselves these jobs and they get in these positions is go to talking about how oppressed they are and how the racist system or white supremacy or the criminal justice system have been judging them harshly and unfairly. So this is their way of setting everything right, I guess. Just get in here and just fuck up everything. It's crazy, but I know one thing. I would hate to have to go before these bitches and need restraining orders or need these niggas locked up in any kind of way. These women is who have your fate in their hands, Black women. And y'all wonder why we constantly sound the alarm on mammies and tell you that these women are dangerous. It's because they are. Because can you imagine going to one of these bitches after this dude just beat your ass and you expecting her to help you keep this nigga up off your back, and you think that she really finna help you when she looking at him and she seeing her son, her nephew, her cousin? Oh no, bitch, she ain't finna help y'all lock that nigga up. How many times have we seen shit like this in the justice system that has been shown right here on this panel? So I would hate to have to enter one of their courtrooms. So keep that in mind.
Yeah, I don't want them taking care of me as a doctor either. I don't want because they always talking about how racist the medical system is. But when these Black people do become doctors by some slim chance, they start judging your ass too. They don't give you the proper care. They don't return calls. They don't send your medication in and all that shit there. Listen, I don't want Black folks dealing with any of my business whatsoever. They're a clusterfuck of nonsense. Go ahead, Kyra. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Well, I just wanted to add, that's why I no longer get excited when I see a Black woman becoming mayor or senator or anything. Because look at Keisha Lance Bottoms in Atlanta and all the fuck shit she did. Look at Mayor Lightfoot in Chicago and all the fuck shit she did. No.
I don't want them doing shit. I used to be like this champion, cape just flapping, looking goofy as fuck. Go, Black girl, go, do the child, please. Soon as you get in there, you fixing to get rid of the bond. You fixing to get rid of mandatory minimums and all type of shit. No, I don't want you up there. Fuck you, whore. I'd rather I can't say that up here because that is real bad. I'd rather deal with a one-legged, one-eyed individual. That's all I got.
What the kicker is, Kyra, a lot of Black men actually hated Keisha Lance Bottoms.
Yup.
I was like, wow. And that's one of y'all biggest champions. Okay.
They hate Oprah too. They hate her.
They do. And they nobody has still been able to produce one show. They just been running around lying on that woman. I'm still waiting on them to produce all these shows that they claim that she had bashing Black men. They still upset because she put on that J.L. King man, that download dude. They thought that was a bad look for their community, but I'm still waiting on where is all the shows she allegedly did that's bashing them, because they have these footage of these vintage talk shows everywhere. So I'm trying to see where is the footage? Where's the proof? Like, you can look up old Ricky Lake shows. You can look up everybody. Where's the old Oprah shows?
Jay Jones.
Yeah, where she said all this shit. They ain't been able to produce none of those receipts shit. That's why I say Black women believe absolutely anything.
Those shows don't exist.
Oh, speaking of talk shows, R.I.P. to Jerry Springer, the only person who died this week that was worth an R.I.P. Just all.
Listen, y'all,
He
Jerry
was hilarious.
Springer, he exposed a whole lot of shit in the black community, didn't he? In the 90s, that boy was like, look, this is what they doing. He held the mic all innocent, just stood in the corner some damn where and just let y'all rip y'all own draws down. That shit was crazy. I'm like, oh no, it's on national TV.
Another
Baby
thing,
mamas, down low brothers. I mean, good God.
it was funny, but the thing about it is the community. Now I got 11 years on UDZ. Would tell these black women, and going off to wherever they're doing, you need to come back and be an asset to the community. I spat on them, but I mean, a lot of them did go back and try to do just that and fuck themselves up in the process.
More black love, y'all.
Quick story time by this side chick who got pregnant by my husband. All right, let's get into it. So this girl recently approached me and wanted to let me know that she is pregnant by my husband. I think she's about 16, 17 weeks, something like that. I don't know if she thought that I was going to get upset, want to curse her out. But me and my husband is a united front. We're a team. So at the end of the day, I'm the wife. I took vows with this man. You got attached. You caught feelings. You got pregnant. I don't know why these girls be thinking like the man is gonna leave the wife, but I'm going nowhere. We're about to be a nice, very blended family, and you will remain the side bitch. Period. Legally, with everything, his affairs, I'm his wife, and you're just the outsider looking in. But it's funny. It's funny when these side chicks catch feelings because you looking like a real yam head out here, girl.
Yeah.
And she's not.
She's the one who looks stupid. She's not a wife. She's another side chick.
Oh God.
And guess what? The side chick is gonna run her pockets because good and well he's not gonna be able to pay the child support on his own.
I couldn't help but notice that flag
you.
down there. I couldn't help but notice that dust and that mammyism is worldwide. And ladies, you can't escape it by going to the diaspora. Those mammies are just as bad. Listen, y'all are really looking real bad out here talking about I'm the wife. He is in the back of all of these pictures. Y'all saw all those stills. He is the beneficiary of stupid bitch syndrome, and he just as happy as he want to be. And I guess I bet she thought she ate when she told that woman, we just gonna be a blended family. Girl, you didn't do nothing but lay the fuck down. There was nothing you can do because as soon as you caught an attitude about it, then y'all would have been bumping cars in the street like we showed up here, fighting each other. So you decided to avoid all the drama and just say, let it happen. She is the acceptor of the 2 coochie minimum that we talked about in our course the other day, right?
That just goes to show you how desperate they are to have them. They'll put up with absolutely anything just to say they got these husbands, and ain't nobody in the marriage married but you, because he's still gonna do what the fuck he want to do. And yeah, before somebody be petty, I am aware I was stuttering a few minutes ago. That's because my television was flashing. I'm trying to figure out what the hell was going on, because I know somebody gonna be petty. They listen hard for everything and every little mistake that we make, even though this show is live. No, this show is live, and they wait for us to make a mistake so people can run back and talk about it. So yeah, I am aware of that, but that was
I ain't made no mistake. I don't give a fuck if I come up here and go blah 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 blah. You still a fucking mammy. You still a motherfucking mammy, bitch. Record that shit. Shit. And the shit that we saying up here ain't untrue. So record that. Let me go ahead and stutter my ass off. The fuck you mean? I'm not going for that goddamn deflection. Are you out your goddamn mind? Hell no. Let me get this shit from up here. Is this my last slide? I think it is. Yeah, it is. I already showed y'all that goddamn Gmail. Anyway.
But as for a shy Glizzy, I've never heard of them. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Snapple.
Oh, well, I guess, I mean, I guess the trauma bonders are satisfied, I hope, with the who they chose edition of DZ's Live. But just to be very motherfucking clear, we're glad they're not choosing Black women. This is not that. Okay. I am so happy. It makes me glad when I see when I see the cicadas dating out, I'm like, whew, that's one less Black woman that has to be looking like old girl on the escalator, or the idiot that was just shown in that TikTok. So just please don't get it confused. We don't give a fuck. We're glad ain't nobody over here mad about who they chose.
Yo, when I tell y'all mammies are just as dangerous as look, even if they related to you, I've told y'all a billion times, hey, y'all got to get these bitches up out your life. I'm getting ready to show you some people, right, that they are sisters and they are accomplished. They're in real estate, of course, they're mammies, they're activists and all this shit here. Okay, and we talk about the death of Black women a whole lot. I can't wait to see the chat room after I play this. You don't want to see this. You just want to get some Black dick.
This Friday, we begin with this, a case that has left a community stunned and heartbroken. A well-known St. Pete realtor is dead, and her sister is in jail, charged.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Because remember, Daisy, you're supposed to be for Black women. Y'all better get away from these mammies. You better get away from them because they act just like the niggas that they love so much. She took her sister out, baby. And these are accomplished women. These are like, they're presentable. They're community activists. They're the pillars of their community. At the end of the day, they're still mammies, and you got to remove yourself from that community. What happened, y'all?
Charged with murder. Well, tonight we're hearing from some of their friends, and Fox 13's Aaron Mesmer is live for us at the Pinellas County Jail tonight. And Aaron, I mean, this is a wild story. It's not often that you hear of a sister being accused of murdering her sister. So what are friends telling you tonight?
Well, they are shocked, Allie. They're shaken that this even happened. I mean, these are two sisters who had a real positive impact on a lot of people and on the entire community where they lived. And you can imagine why they are so surprised that now one of those sisters is charged with killing the other.
Communities being uprooted and disenfranchised.
That's Dr. Cherie Howard telling Fox 13 her thoughts last year about plans for Tropicana Field. Cherie Howard is now in jail.
I'm still in disbelief. I'm shocked.
Charged with killing her sister, Sherry Howard.
She was the type that pushed sisterhood, and for her to leave this way, by the hands of her sister, I mean, I send my prayers to the whole family.
Sherry was a realtor in St. Pete and a friend of Sonia Brookins, who's currently in a runoff election for Tampa City Council. She calls Sherry an inspiration and made this decision after learning about her death.
I'm going to dedicate this campaign to her memory because it is people like her that have pushed me to continue to do things that need to be done.
Cherie, meanwhile, is a family doctor. Neighbors say she and Sherry were living together at a house on Newton Avenue in St. Pete. According to the police report, Cherie called 911 Tuesday and said she had just choked her sister to death at their home. Friends never even saw the two argue.
And that's something that has really got me kind of shocked as well. When she talked about her sister, it was always a positive light.
The interactions,
He's comfortable in his home doing his virtual march, right? Got black on his t-shirt. Y'all better get away from these people. She strangled her sister with her bare hands, and she was a doctor. Huh? So when folks try to say that we're extreme, I need you to go ahead and miss me with that bullshit. These people put on a very good front. I'm a doctor and I'm an activist and I'm this and we want peace in the community. You can't even get it in your own home. Because when all of this shit, the stop broadcast and the laptops close and you throw your phone on the charger, what's happening for real in these actual real lives is some other shit. Okay? I can't stand a dusty, funky motherfucker like this. Let's finish this.
We're very great.
St. Pete City Councilman Brother John Muhammad knew Sherry well and says she was a fierce advocate for her community.
For those who know her commitment to social justice and advocacy, to honor her, I think would be to continue in the work that she did.
It's a way for Sherry's friends to honor the impact she had on their lives.
I'm just thankful that I was blessed to have her come across my path.
Yeah, they always talking about, they use trigger words, y'all. I'm blessed, and sisterhood and activism and community and all this shit. They are trash. From the homeless asshole all the way up to apparently the physician in Blackistan, they're trash. Okay? There's no way to sift through this bullshit. You got to walk away from the entire community. I heard a bitch say one time in a comment, okay? I say heard, but I read it. DZ's trying to separate y'all from y'all family, and that is pure evil. I don't think there's a better separation between you and your sister than your sister taking you off this planet with her mammy ass. Okay? Maybe, just maybe, if the woman that's no longer with us had heard, you better stop muling. You better get up out that community. Get yourself away from your mammy ass family members and friends. Maybe she'd still be here. But it takes a whole bunch of anger, rage, and strength to take your hands and strangle somebody to death, much less your own sister. So nobody's trying to put any, line between you and your family and separate you from your family. To do what? It's called self-preservation. Y'all, any comments on this shit? Because I thought this was very interesting, especially with the shit I see out here on these streets talking about our so-called rhetoric.
I wanted to say real quick, I've always been a big proponent of fuck the family, and I think we covered it heavily when we did the Shanquella live. We started talking about family too, but like seriously, like that's why we don't have time to be doing who they chose and preference this and preference that all fucking day. No, it's more than that. You have to cut your whole, when you divest, you have to cut your whole fucking raggedy, dusty ass Blackistan family off. And that doesn't just mean the hood boogers with the abandoned buildings and the potholes. That means the uppity blacks with the physicians and shit. Them motherfuckers is Blackistan too. And if they're not of sound mind, and they don't have your best interest, and they just want to use you and suck you dry of your resources and make you mule, you need to cut them the fuck off, because the moment you say no, the moment you try to enforce boundaries, you're a grown-ass woman at this point, and you went your whole life being a fucking doormat for your family, and then you have the audacity to finally say no, oh, you're going to get fucked up one way or another. They're going to fuck your ass up. So you need to divest from them. That includes your cousins, your sisters, your aunties, of course, all the male family members. But like, it's serious, because I'm not surprised at this story at all. Your family be the worst ones that be out to get you, because they know you, they know your weak points, they know your vulnerabilities, and they will fuck your ass up. So I'm glad you showed this story.
It's very important, to be honest with you, because I get sick of that bullshit with y'all, we even got called a whole bunch of lesbians. Really? Really? Okay. What the fuck? What are you talking about? This woman's no longer here. And somebody wrote in the chat, I think it's odd that people call them preferences. Y'all know good and well, I am not with that fucking word. I use it because that's what the sector gives. But who cares who they prefer? You still interested in who they prefer?
DZ has always made it clear from the beginning that that's a word that she hates, actually. But because that's what they have branded that shit as, that's just what we say, because they call them preferences. It's like, get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. Who trying to be preferred by them? Like, that's a good thing. It's not a flex. So who give a fuck about that?
So DZ, I haven't heard that one. So let me get this straight. You're a light-skinned Asian lesbian now.
I guess, with a black husband and 2 kids, and a black husband with 5 kids. And the chairman, I don't know if y'all heard this, because we talked about this in Discord, the chairman of the George Floyd Foundation. I'm also that. Y'all just be coming up with any goddamn thing. This shit is crazy.
I saw the whole lesbian thing too, and it's usually other lesbians who stay trying to brand women as lesbians. It's particularly those on lipstick, the lipstick lesbians over there on Brokeback Alley. Yeah. Those type of lesbians always trying to come for somebody else. Trust and believe, I'm very straight. You can't get no straighter than I am. Very heterosexual.
Look, I'm not even fixing to prove nothing to somebody that's hiding over there, naming themselves the Cadillac Zebra, and bringing screenshots of the God knows where the fuck they got them or created them or what the fuck ever. Listen, Like I said before, shout out to the ones that get it over there on lipstick, and the ones that don't get it, you can kiss the entirety of my ass. Don't forget the crack. And if you so true, since y'all like eating booty so much, get busy, bitch. Huh? It is what it is. I just want to know, where's the lie? Where is it, y'all?
We haven't told one and they can't point one out. So they just have to make up shit. That's what they do. Everything we say that they get pissed off about, then they just talk shit about us in the comment section. Because we pissed a whole lot of motherfuckers off with their last live. But I'm still waiting on them. I'm still waiting on them to tell me that. Well, actually, they're waiting on me to give a fuck. Actually, I'm not waiting on them for anything. They're waiting on me to actually give a fuck, because everything that was said was fucking meant around this motherfucker, about them girls, about that neighbor, that gated community, and every damn thing else, including the bitch that got on this panel. I ain't done with you yet either, ho. Just know that.
Aaliyah, we've been pissing people off since the Rockhead Yarrow live, but I do want to point out that there's still 1.1K in the chat. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to everybody in the chat that still showed up. So that's what's up. So
they know good and well we're not lying. I look the supporters. I get it. I understand y'all that don't drop out the clouds and that type of stuff, because this stuff is really controversial, and it's really sad that the truth is controversial. These are news clips, okay? This is history that we showed up here. That's Emmett Till. That was Carolyn Bryant. That was Harry Belafonte, all his wives. That was Eartha Kitt. This is history and news clips. So if you have a problem with truth, then you got a problem with your damn self. It is what it is. But the Black community has always had a problem with truth, okay? They have. There's never been a time where they was like, yeah, we're a little bit fucked up on that. We can work on that. Yeah, we probably shouldn't. Maybe we should build some stores and shit instead of flexing with rims and chains and, like pulling their cheeks apart. Y'all ever seen those pictures where they pull their cheeks apart and show their teeth and that type of shit? They be looking crazy as hell. That's that community, though. And I cannot bring myself to give a fuck with nobody that identifies with that community, their opinion. Bring some facts and then we can talk. Okay.
DZ, when you said cheeks, I was thinking of the other cheeks, from when you showed. Well, you remember you showed that news clip from Nigeria, where that grape, he just spread his booty cheeks and took a dump on the live.
And see, what's irritating me more than anything now is the bitches that's going out of their way to constantly try to let us know, whether it's subliminal, subliminal, or posting shit on their community tab or whatever the case may be. But for some reason, they keep trying to drive home the fact that these other groups of men prefer their own women. And I'm just thinking to myself, how many times do we have to address that? And furthermore, why do you care? My thing is, they love to say that we're the minority. They love to say that nobody's listening to us. They love to say this shit, but at the same time, if what we're saying carries no weight and it's not having an effect on anybody or anything, why do they keep going out of their way to try to discredit what we say? It just makes no sense to me. Why would you care about something like that? The majority of Black men still date and marry Black women, correct? So obviously we don't know what we're talking about. So what does that matter to you?
Well, Aaliyah, the issue is it's easy for us to get caught up in the latest mammy antic, but the truth is divestment and DZ's message is catching on. Otherwise, folks wouldn't be so shook by it.
Of course it is.
You remember the Christmas special we did last year, and that Cicada called up and he even said that Black women were acting divested in real life to him. So it's catching on, and that's what has everybody in their feelings.
April's Eve, your device is not connected, ma'am. So whenever you figure that out, I'll be more than happy to put the banner up and see what you got to say. Let me go ahead and put it up here now, just in case you get it together. But as far as men preferring their own, they're supposed to. Why don't yours? Why don't your men prefer? Right. If men are supposed to, prefer their own women, why don't yours prefer you? Why do they prefer everybody but you? When you say, they prefer their own, what you're telling us is that's, they're doing what they're supposed to do. Okay.
Coming from the same group of bitches that just got mad because their men in the manosphere but prefer pearly. It's rich. It's always the bitches that have the worst examples talking the most shit. Like, girl, bye. You just had the example live and in your face. Seriously.
I'm seeing more and more Black women divest. It's not at some sort of supersonic speed, but I'm seeing a lot more interracial couples that involve Black women, and I couldn't be more proud. You need to get out there and explore. Okay, you need to see what the world is actually about, not Blackistan's interpretation of what's going on. They have been hollering victimhood since day one. But all of you who I get inboxes from, whether it's on my Patreon, right, or in that 500 plus Gmail account, it's always your family and your community that's giving you the hardest run. And you're so scared to leave. Do you think the rest of the world is worse than some of the stories that y'all tell me? Y'all, I get some of the worst heartbreaking stories, to the point where after I answer about 10 emails, I got to take a break. I promote 5-minute vacations all the time back there on Patreon and tell them exactly how to do it. You pick your whatever makes you happy, whatever non-alcoholic beverage that makes you happy. Sit in the quiet, right? Or look at something. Y'all try some white noise or some brown noise or something in the background and just chill. And I don't want to call it meditate because I'm not into that esoteric bullshit like that. But just take 5 minutes for yourself and just chill. I have to do that every now and then because some of the stories that I get from y'all, what happens with y'all's families is disgusting. I thought my childhood had some disgusting stories, but some of the stuff I hear is crazy, and some people need to be locked the fuck up. There needs to be a ton of arrest warrants out here for some of y'all's family members, some of the people y'all grew up with, some of the people y'all know in y'all community have done some of the most disgusting things I ever heard of in my life. Some of y'all have been touched by your own goddamn brothers, okay? We had to actively get a woman up out of her house because of some shit that was going on with her daddy. Y'all don't tell me about racism. I don't care about racist people. Okay, there are enough laws in place that if something actually racist happened, there's tools that you can go ahead and get that shit rectified and you can be made whole. But none of y'all ain't being made whole by what happened to you because of your uncle. Ain't none of y'all being made whole by that mammy ass bitch of a mother that you have that preferred your brothers over you, and you were the only one that had to do chores, and she helps them, but as a grown woman, she won't help you when you fall on hard times. When you just need a listening fucking ear, she won't let you sit there and hug a child. I got to go. Okay. It's a mess. And y'all are co-signing some of these relationships that your friends are getting in. You know, you still going to these mostly Black clubs. You still going to these family cookouts and all that shit where you know there's going to at least be a fight up to and including a shooting. Okay, I don't care about what's going on with somebody's feelings about Black folk on your job and that type of shit. I'm going to tell you something, y'all. Just keep it real. Sometimes when you work at some of these places and some of the people that work there get a little leery because you came in and now you're employed there, it's not just you. It's your associates that they're concerned with. We in this building, does she have an angry baby father? Does she have a brother that has quote unquote mental disease? Does she have mammy tendencies? Is she going to actually snatch somebody's ass up in here if she gets mad? Does she have the emotional maturity to even be here? Because look at the Black community, y'all. Look at it. Okay, y'all think that in Blackistan, fighting is the answer to a lot of issues. It could be something as petty as fuck all the way up to something real serious. But everything in between is fight worthy. You think you can assault people? You thinking, y'all, are y'all aware? Let me look at the chat. Are y'all aware of that situation that I can't show up here that just happened in Mississippi, right? With the two girls, ironic, right? That is two girls that showed up to their other cousin house to confront her, quote unquote. Did y'all see that shit? And they ended up unalived right there on the goddamn porch. So, Taj Mahal or whoever the fuck your name is, anything on those two girls, bitch? Anything on that? Because they're no longer with us and they were taken out by another family member. Oh, that's right. Since it's not a white man asking you whether you're supposed to be here, you ain't got shit to say about that. April's Eve. Are you Dusty?
Hi, can you hear me? No, ma'am.
Okay, what's going on, boo?
Hi, I just wanted to be real quick with you guys. You just triggered me when you said something about the family because last night I was with my sister. My mother
Do you
had
got
to.
anything on the subject matter though? On the like general subject matter? Because I don't want you to tell all your business up here.
Oh no, I just wanted to comment about cutting off your mammy family
Oh,
member.
okay, go ahead.
So no one has my number except for a sister and a cousin. I was with my sister and
That's a
I had.
story, sister. That's a story. What
Oh,
about cutting off your family members?
just to listen because I'm in my late 20s. Some of us are a little bit hard-headed. Basically, someone had to reach out to try to get to me through two family members to try to live with me, and this was a male relative. And I was just absolutely disgusted because why would you, he's in his 40s, trying to come live with me,
Do
and I'm
y'all
a young
family
one.
members still have y'all phone numbers in the chat? Does anybody y'all still giving y'all family members y'all numbers? Because that's how a lot of these emails start out. My family called me and they said they have y'all number. Why do they have y'all number? Just
Well,
asking. I'm not
I,
talking to you in particular, April. I'm
Right.
asking y'all real quick. Why the fuck do they have your number? Because a lot of these stories start out with, oh, my brother called me, or oh, such and such called me. How are they calling y'all?
well, I guess in all fairness, some people have had the same number for years and it's attached to all of their business, so they just never changed it. That's why mine is the way it is, because I
I
just never
tell you what.
changed it.
I tell y'all
But
what. I tell y'all what. If that was one of y'all not wanting to be caught, you'll find a way not to be caught. I'm just gonna keep that part
Oh
real with you.
yeah,
yeah, I was
block
gonna
game is
say,
strong.
yeah,
Oh
you
yeah,
can
but
block
this person
everybody.
reached out to my sister because they knew me and my sister was together last night. So
And
I
your
was
sister
just
gave the number.
no, my sister like put it on speaker, and I'm just like, no, like, what are you wanted to come live with me with him, his girlfriend, and their three children? I almost laughed, but yeah, no, they don't have my number.
Good. Y'all cut off these crazy ass people that y'all need to get rid of. Y'all are divesting, okay? You're divesting. If anybody is still able to reach out and touch you, you got to make some changes. If there's a reason that you have because y'all have a death in the family or whatever, give them a text now number so you can go to the funeral. If your family is that bad though, fuck that goddamn funeral and fuck that corpse. Okay, that's the savage I am. What you grandma dead? Okay, was y'all grandma a fucked up individual? Well then have a great goddamn day and sing We Shall Overcome for me. Y'all got to stop feeling obligated to be sitting up because grandma died. Well, was grandma a trash ass bitch? Well, grandma can go in the fucking ground without you being there. Y'all getting fucked up out here. So it's time to change that narrative that I gotta show respect to the dead. What? Really? Okay, because
Exactly.
while they still had a pulse, they were an asshole. Just because they don't have a pulse anymore doesn't mean that they're no longer an asshole. That's why we drilled the shit out of Kevin Samuels up here. Fuck him.
Right. Like keep that same energy. I feel like if you didn't fuck with the person while they was alive and well, why are you going to the funeral? Don't let anyone make you feel like you have to go. Like you had them blocked. They didn't have your number. You wasn't fucking with them. I don't give a fuck if it's great grandma, whoever, big mama. It doesn't fucking matter. You wasn't fucking with her for a reason because she was toxic as fuck. So you cut her off because you was divested and you don't need to go to that funeral. And to the caller, you might want to put some space between you and your sister if she's allowing those, she's still in contact with those ratchet ass family members and they had the audacity to try to reach out to you through her and she didn't respect the boundary to not even to even try to entertain it with you, then you might want to put some distance there.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, y'all. There's nothing wrong with it. Stop letting people make you feel a guilt trip. Get off the guilt trip reel. Something has to change. And a lot of black women don't want to hear that shit. You're going to have to get rid of some of that Blackistani politics shit that they got going on. Some of y'all are still going to these family get-togethers. And the guy that traumatized you when you were little, he's going to be there. And make no mistake about it, some of those people in your family know that he did that, and you're not the only one he did it to. And y'all over there waiting for your part of the rib tips and some goddamn potato salad, right? With the dude that made your whole adulthood fucked up. You always hearkening back to that when you're having a bad day. You don't pass the peas to the motherfucker that went on ahead and made your life a living hell, your mental health a living hell. That's, I mean, and you scared to divest because of some boogeyman called racism? Really? No.
And see, I did hear about the story with the cousins that you're talking about. And I heard two different versions of that story until I actually saw the video. The better, because it's more than one video. I actually saw two. And to think people were just pretending like she just ran out of the house and just started releasing rounds off at them. When you watch the video, she clearly warned them several times to get the fuck off her truck. And see, didn't I just tell y'all Tuesday that these bitches are gonna learn to respect other people's space, other people's privacy, and other people's property? Property. Respect other people's shit. It's just that simple. And I'm willing to bet they went to that woman's house to fight her about a nigga, cousin or not. That I'm sure that it was a man somewhere involved in that. They haven't stated the motive yet, but I'm willing to bet once you get all underneath it all, you'll see that it's one of them was at the root of all that shit. Because they've been doing this. Only this time they ran up and got laid the fuck down permanently. And see, one thing about me is I've never started a fight in my life, but I will finish one. And when you pull up on folks on some bullshit and looking for a viral moment, then you get what you get. Now their family has to bury two of its members at the same time. So there will be a double funeral with twin caskets. So not only did the main girl get herself killed, she got a cousin killed too. And see, what do we tell y'all about watching who you hang around with? This is the point of what we're talking about. Because I'm sure it never crossed her mind when she took that ride with her cousin that neither one of them would make it back home. And see, this is what happens when you go for bad all the time and you're forgetting that not everybody is pussy either, and you will get fucked playing these stupid ass games, especially when you don't know people for real. So let that be a cautionary tale for you. Stop playing these games.
It's weird. Some of the people that they're like, oh, it's just property. You shouldn't be put down because of property crimes. It's Friday, y'all. A lot of y'all have worked all week. And some of the stuff that y'all possess, you worked very hard for it. You'll have people on the left saying, well, that can be replaced. Well, who the fuck is going to replace it? The criminal? Who's going to make you whole at the end? Everybody don't believe it's just property. Sometimes you're going to get your issue. In Mississippi, you're allowed to protect your property with deadly force. Are y'all aware of that? Do we got any Mississippians in the crowd? Tell me I'm lying. In Mississippi, you're allowed to protect yourself and your property with deadly force. Everybody's not going for the Taj Mahal bullshit. It's none of your business. If you don't get the fuck off my truck, right? And she told them several times, go ahead, go about your business. I think I counted at least 5 times. She said, go about your business. And they came to her house. When Aaliyah said, y'all gonna find out the hard way, it started right after we got off the live. We got 2 dead Black women that wanted a viral moment, like she said. But hey, I got some dating candidates for you, trauma bonders. I haven't forgot about you. Let's see how sexy these motherfuckers are.
And police releasing new details tonight involving a crime spree spanning 2 states. 4 suspects arrested, accused of intentionally rear-ending drivers. In one case, a female driver was pulled from her vehicle and sexually assaulted. Kelly, you've been on the story since the beginning. A lot of people tonight so relieved that these suspects are off the street. What are you learning here?
Yeah, Sheba, certainly a big relief. Tonight, police are telling us all 4 of these men are in their late teens or early 20s, and they are all from Delaware. But they say the 2 vehicles involved in this crime spree were both stolen, one from Elkton, Maryland, and the other from Hamilton, New Jersey. So tonight, police are working with numerous other agencies to see if this group is connected to other crimes in and outside of Delaware. Delaware State Police say these 4 Delaware men.
Ooh, wee. Oh my goodness. The one on the bottom left. Mammies. He red. Ain't that what y'all call light-skinned people in the Black community? He a red bone. Uh-oh. The one on the bottom left, he's red. They young. They young. They still young. They deserve a second chance, don't they? After tearing up people's shit and sexually a woman about a car, huh? There you go. There's 4 candidates right there. Maybe you can sign up for the pen pal program, because when they're not in their 20s anymore, maybe they'll get it together in their 30s and you can make a happy family with a baby and the 2.5 kids and the white picket fence. It's a possibility, ain't it? Because all they did was carjack. And I guess the girl that got sexually wanted it, right? I mean, this is the chocolate brothers y'all be talking about. These the oppressed brothers that y'all be talking about, and how the system is always fucking them over. I hope they get some time, but because of you, they may not get that much time because nobody died, huh? These are y'all people. But let's continue trauma bonding. I guess the system, should come up with a program for them after they get out of jail so that you can have somebody to fuck on, huh? Because there's not enough good black men to go around and they can be reformed and all that good shit. That's what you say, isn't it? Snapple, you got anything on this?
That looks like a color chart up there to me. I mean, that's what it's giving. They got all the shades up there, but no, I don't really have anything to add. I had a thought when you were saying about them being pen pals and hoping to have a family with them, and it just sucks because I know that's actually reality. Like that's what's gonna happen.
It is. Maybe they'll call up to Kendra's show.
They're gonna have they're gonna have plenty of mammy mules to choose from. They're gonna have commissary on their books. They're gonna have some place to parole to. Hell, one of them might end up on Love After Lockup.
Okay, or on Kendra's show. I mean, because inmates call up there too. There's hope, mammies. There's hope, right? We had another content creator today, Mr. Sam Cook, right? Made excuses for Harry Belafonte being young. Wow. Well, when he left his wife of 47 years, which is older, that's more years than I've been alive. Was he young then? Right? What age does a black man have to be where he's no longer considered a fucking baby? All the mistakes he made was because he was young.
I guess around 82, I think. No, I'm seriously, because when I think about it, I am seeing 56-year-olds still staying with their mom, and literally she's on all their shit and their emergency contact. Like they don't have wives. They're being looked after, and their next of kin is their mom. That's just what it is. And it's like, this is a grown ass man. Why am I talking to his mother and not his wife? In the medical, when you're in the medical field, DZ, you already know how it is. Like when you get certain clients and certain patients, it's like when you start looking at the medical records and you seeing how fucked up some of the health is. And so when you start dealing and looking at like who is next of kin, and it's like, wow, this is some bullshit here. But they sure do have a whole lot to say about Black women dying alone and and not having nobody. And I'm like, they're talking about themselves, ladies. Y'all got to understand that a lot of what they're projecting onto us is projection. Like all they do is talk about Black women being obese, but they're the ones literally dropping, falling out of heart attacks, stroking out, everything I said that they are suffering with, including erectile dysfunction, younger and younger. Their health is absolutely horrible. But every time they open their mouths, they're talking about the Black woman and her obesity and everything that's wrong with us.
I've seen them with erectile dysfunction as young as 25 years old. I shit you the fuck not. It's because of their disgusting diets and shit like that. But that's just the Black community. Like I said, mammies, you in there for the dick, but they're having dysfunction with even that. They're not even able to perform on that shit. Okay? But like go ahead.
Well, that's okay, DZ, because some of these chicks, in addition to tossing the salad of these Black males, they'll straight up peg him too. So it doesn't matter if he can't get hard to fuck her; she can just bend him over. You've seen that more.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, yo. Okay, let me show y'all this last story. I can't with y'all, mammies. How did I do on trauma bonding? Get your ass over there to Lipstick Alley and grade my trauma bonding. I want to know what I get. I hope I got an A. Shit.
New details on a shooting in Cheltenham. We're now learning that the murder of a mother killed outside of a Dunkin' was planned for months by these two people here in the middle. And investigators say it was all over an ended affair. And Kelly, it's like something out of a movie.
Jason, it really does. The DA says today they believe this was a conspiracy, a murder for hire of a completely innocent mom and beloved school teacher by a man that didn't know her and a woman who investigators say was filled with jealousy and hate.
Her memory will never be lost.
So this story is confusing, ladies. This is the parents of the girl that's no longer with us, okay? They're getting ready to tell you how amazing she was, how smart she was, how she's a teacher and all this shit. Here, my question is, Mom and Dusty Daddy, why did y'all co-sign a relationship with a Dusty, right? A cheating ass Dusty. I am so tired of hearing how bright and how much of a future these women had when I'm just not seeing it. I'm not seeing it.
Heartbroken parents of 35-year-old Rachel King thanked investigators for the first step towards justice in their daughter's murder. King was shot to death in the parking lot of the Cheltenham Dunkin' Donuts on April 11th in front of her 11-year-old son, Jalen.
So we already made another mistake, right? You see what her preference is, correct? So she went back digging into that shit again. And then you bitches out here that's talking about we don't show any compassion. You don't show any logic. Why go back? If you got your degree and you're doing all this shit here, you got a beautiful future and you were amazing and smart and talented and all this shit. Why are you digging at the bottom of the barrel? Let's trauma bond, bitch. Come here and trauma bond with me.
You know, the road ahead is not going to be easy, but we believe in the team of people that are here today.
A truly innocent woman is targeted in a long planned murder, all because of an ended affair.
The Montgomery County DA's office says defendant 34-year-old Julie Jean.
So there's your receipt that it doesn't matter from garbage all the way up to an educated woman, right? You as a black woman are not going to be enough. This 2 pussy minimum keeps showing up. So we got this bright teacher that had a bright future and she's beautiful. Her hair is natural. She's doing all the shit that these niggas claim that they want you to do. And then over here, we got Dusty Takesha, right? Both of y'all can get it. Both of you can get it. On top of that, after the affair ended, because she was the side person, okay, she went on ahead and got with her baby daddy's friend to unalive this woman. Yes, like the news reporter said, they could make a movie out of this shit.
Jean had an affair with a longtime boyfriend of King's last year. And after he broke it off, Jean harassed both King and her boyfriend, which led him to filing a protection from abuse order against Jean in early December. The DA's office believes Jean's plotting began in mid-February when she started talking to and conspiring with 33-year-old Zaki Al-Hakim.
That person on the right, he doesn't belong in anybody's goddamn relationship. But you know what? Sometimes that's your preference, right? That's what y'all prefer. If you walked in a room looking like that with your dreads all dusty like that, black woman, you wouldn't be nobody's preference. Not even that dusty ass. Oh, let's look at another bright woman. I got y'all tonight. We trauma bonding.
It's bad. It's something that you don't ever want to experience. Because I have to stay strong to try to find my daughter.
Monica Herron is speaking about the search for her daughter, 25-year-old Tiara Strand. Tiara's family says she was last seen at this bar on 6th Street on Sunday, April 16th at 2:30 a.m. They've made this flyer. Some of her identifying features are green braids, a belly button, and nose piercing, and tattoos on both arms.
Miss me. You mean to tell me there's no hood rat uniform? Well, her mother's getting ready to say she had a bright future. Her green braids, her piercings, her tattoos, and all that shit. She was getting ready to be the president of the United States, basically, is what her mother wants you to think. The rest of this video can't be played because they showed her getting her ass pummeled to the earth by some other black women, of course, outside of that bar. Okay, now they're looking for her. But great news, everybody. They found her. Let's see where they found her.
Tonight, a mother dead and her family heartbroken.
25-year-old Tiara Strand disappeared less than a week ago, and this morning, authorities say they found her body 70 miles away from Austin. Strand's loved ones say she was last seen on 6th Street downtown on Sunday, but her body was found this morning in a ditch in a rural area just north of Temple.
KVU's Kelsey Sanchez joins us now live in the studio. And Kelsey, Tiara's family just wants to know how this could have happened.
Good evening, Brian, Quita. I talked to Tiara Strand's cousins and her sister a few hours ago, and they are devastated. They say she was a mother of a 6-year-old girl and had plans to join the military. Now they're stuck with little to no answers about how she died, but they told me she was attacked while out at a bar on 6th Street, and that attack was captured on video. But after that, no one heard from her again. Now, the family says she had gone out with friends on Saturday, but on Sunday morning when they didn't hear from her, they called Tiara's phone. But her friends answered and said they had her belongings. Tiara's loved ones say it wasn't like her to leave without her things. Now, the family did file a report with Austin police the next day, which APD did confirm to KVU. However, her family feels not enough was done.
We reach out to them because we feel like they're supposed to help us.
Y'all know what I'm getting ready to say, right? Her friends, by the way, during that fight, they stood there and watched her get her ass beat the fuck down. When I tell you they put her on the ground and stomped the shit out of her, they did. That's why I can't show it up here. But instead of looking at each other, these women, including the mother, are looking at the system and telling them that they needed to do more. No, what you need to do is get these mammies up out of your life. They're beating you the fuck up. Okay, they're leaving you for dead. They don't give a fuck about you whatsoever. Mammies only care about black males. So anytime something happens to you, it's going to be the system's fault. The system needs to change and all this shit here, but you don't have to change anything. You can still hang with mammies. You can still get in relationships with dusties. You don't have to change nothing. And then you're going to get up here being indignant and trying to hold somebody to task to do some shit, and you don't have to do anything. That's why you'll still come up missing. This is why your body's going to still get caught dead on the side of the road and that type of shit. I found it very interesting how she is demanding that somebody do something when you didn't tell your sister to stop hanging with the mammy ass bitches
and protect us, protect our children. And they pretty much threw their hands up.
I would too. Shit.
Oh, she just walked off.
Now, her cousins and sisters say Tiara was loving and kind and was actually getting ready to be the maid of honor at her sister's wedding. Now, they just want to make sure Tiara gets justice.
This will be y'all. This will be y'all if you don't make any changes. I'm serious, ladies. Y'all got to make some goddamn changes around here. These people are not going to keep using the manpower that they barely have anymore to keep looking for you because you was just out having a good time with your friends. They're not going to do it. And that goes for all ages. For you old bitches that's still out here clubbing and acting a damn fool, when you turn up missing, they're going to only have the manpower available that you left them with after you asked them to defund the police. Murder investigators are police officers. Were you not aware of that? So when you say defund them, you're saying defund the investigators that's going to be looking for your missing ass, right? But hey, not all. Anybody got anything on this?
DZ, I think you're being a little bit too harsh, though, on the mammies, because don't you know that these good black males that they keep touting are going to step in, become police officers, and investigate their unalivings?
And if they did, I would run. That's all I got to say. When more and more of them start getting badges and power, if y'all think they treat black women a certain way now, could you imagine what they would be like when they get any type of power? I mean, we already saw a glimpse of that what they did to one of their own. Imagine what they do to the black women that they really have beef with. Imagine getting pulled over by one of them things. No. Run for your lives. No.
They not getting ready to do a goddamn thing. I don't think black women think everything through. Only thing that matters is black dick. That's it. The protection of black men, who they really choose, what the preferences are saying, what the white women are doing, oppression, slavery, food stamps, housing, that type of shit. And let's just keep it all blackity black around this motherfucker. I got something for y'all, and you're gonna be glad that you stayed to the end. Let's talk about that reciprocity real quick, shall we? We talked about the wall, right? After 25 in the black community, you've hit the wall. But black women, I honestly think that number is 12 when it comes down to the dust bucket. Okay, we wouldn't have all of these cases, quote unquote, out here if they actually did like 25-year-old women. Let's just keep it real. But even after they told you that, you are praising older Dusties and calling them silver foxes. What is wrong with y'all? Let's take a look real quick.
Let it go, let it go.
Yeah.
All that damn screaming.
A bunch of niggas walking in, all of them needing Viagra, right? And you standing there screaming your ass off when they told you by the time you hit 25, you're nothing. Your sexual market value. I've never heard a term like that until the internet became popular. What do you mean sexual market value? What type of shit? What are you talking about? Right? But here you go, videotaping, hooping and hollering because some granddaddy Dusty done walked in the room with his Congo dandy suit on. When are y'all gonna stop this shit? I think I've answered my own question, and that's going to be never. Ladies, congratulations to you that have divested. Those of you that have not and always got some shit to say about divestors, go ahead and take a long, long walk. I'm not going to tell you how short that cliff need to be, but you go do what you got to do. There's no reciprocity whatso goddamn ever. I'm getting ready to enjoy my Friday. It is the weekend. I'm so fucking happy, and I get to roll around in the hay with that white ass motherfucking man that I call a husband. Right? Anybody got anything before I go be extra?
Yeah, I just want to expand on what it was that you was just saying. If you got a problem with anything we said tonight, if you got a problem with divestors, period, or anybody on this panel in particular, we would like to invite you to go get fucked with a sick dick. That's it.
All right.
Say one thing. That last lady, the last girl that got unalived and dumped in the ditch. Anybody that's fencing, you need to deprogram this codependency mentality. If you're coming from Blackistan, your mammies and your nakers, that's programming you to be codependent to where you're surrounding outside of your family with these type of people. You have to deprogram yourself.
Mimi, you gonna make me stay. You gonna make me stay up here for another half hour, Mimi. I don't think they program. I think they're volunteering at this point. Ain't no way at this point in 2023 that somebody's still programmed. I think they're making a choice at this point. They have access to all of the clips that I do. These aren't my clips. They belong to TikTok. They belong to YouTube. They belong to wherever the fuck I get them from. So they're not programmed. They're saying not all, and they're staying. So yeah, let's go be messy. See y'all in Discord.
Bye.
Night, y'all.
Good night. It's the weekend around this bitch. Yes.